Welcome back to the Mayor's Update.
Hey, it's Wednesday. For those of you that think your world has shifted, we missed last night. I was away. I'm back, and so we thought we would have a great special guest for you tonight. Lisa HIggs is here tonight. She's the new city manager here in St. Thomas. She's had 3 full days in, so she already knows how the whole place works.
Got it all figured out.
Great stuff, right? And I've been trying not to overload. It just can't be done because I've been thinking of things for 3 months, and so it's so great to have such talent now back in the office.
Yeah,
right, on this floor at least, because when I wander on other floors, there's at least a chance they don't know who I am. But up here, it's great.
Yeah. So now you can offload some of your stuff now that you've been taking over.
Yeah, but what I found is the city manager and I work together so much, I often take on more because we think, hey, we should have a meeting of that, right? Yeah, we should talk about that. Why don't we get those people together? Well, I wasn't looking for another meeting, but yes, sure, let's do that.
Well, it's been great to finally get started. It's been,
yes, well, it is great.
Exciting time.
Well, you need to tell us just a bit about yourself. You're St. Thomas.
Yes,
person,
I am St. Thomas. I was St. Thomas proud before it was a hashtag, I think. So yeah, I'm born and raised in St. Thomas. I grew up on the north end of town. Attended Monsignor Morrison, Parkside Collegiate, and then I went away to university and came back home, and I've been kind of working in municipal government for the past 15 years or so, and I'm so pleased and humbled to be trusted by council to kind of help implement their audacious and ambitious plan.
Wow! and I see that before.
I'm sure.
The audacious plan.
Audacious.
Well, I've been called audacious. Ambitious, I think, was the word I did. Was in most of my teachers' reports. Could work harder. Yeah, no.
Well, you work very hard.
Yeah. Anyway, great. Welcome. Yes. And this is fun. And it's what's really unique is obviously I've had a run of pretty good city managers, right? And I feel really fortunate because I figured that streak comes to an end at some point. Well, it hasn't yet, folks.
We have one every year so far, so we're going to see that is a tradition. Are you going to break that? Or are you going to stick
I'm looking to buck that trend.
Okay,
yes,
good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here to stay, I hope, for the long run, and I'm looking forward to bringing some
We've
continuity.
Got so much good stuff to do. And I haven't told Lisa 3/4 of how much more we have to do.
Yeah.
So that's going to make a big difference in the next year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. So lots to happen.
Yeah. And if anyone has any questions for Lisa, right out of the gate, get them in now. Get them in early.
Right. And we'll choose whether they're answerable or not. We're pretty good at faking our way through. Right? But we've got lots going on. So why don't we start with a couple things? First of all, we have a new counselor that we've swore in today too, right?
Very exciting news. Earl Taylor.
I'm beginning to think it's the mayor. He can't keep people. No, they all want to know.
Are you taking it personally?
Yeah, I am.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Earl Taylor, who came next in our last election, was chosen as the counselor appointee or elected. Because we had Tara McCulley on last weekend, and she explained her whole reason why she was moving on.
Which is, it's hard to see someone like Tara go. She's very competent, was on the ball across the board.
Right.
Yeah.
But you and I have been working together closely with Earl for the last, forever.
Decade for me. Yeah.
Right. Through the Downtown Development Board and and Earl and the Optimist Club and a bunch of other stuff that Earl does. Local realtor and knows his community and
stays behind the scenes most of the time.
Yeah.
So now he's going to be kind of front and center in the council position.
I thought that he's got the most loud jackets.
But he's behind the scenes, but you always tell where he is.
You can spot him in the crowd.
Yeah. The guy who walks downtown in a jack-o'-lantern suit maybe is noticeable. I'm just saying. So Mike Vecchio said online today, "Hey, Earl, this must call for a new jacket." And I said, "Oh, I can't wait to see what it might be."
It's going to be pretty epic, whatever it'll be.
Yeah. Well, we don't have another council meeting till the 3rd of March. And so he'll be sworn in with council on that night.
Yep.
But we swore him in so we could already start telling him all the other, secrets and the secret handshake and all the other stuff that we all have to know. So he and I will grab some time this week and early next to talk about all the fun things that I haven't been able to tell him, even though he's a good friend. So happy to have Earl Earl working with us,
Mhm.
and be a neat new mix on council.
It's going to be great. It's always interesting to see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Lisa got to see her first council meeting on Monday night too.
Oh.
Right?
I did, yes.
And it was, our normal fun.
Wait.
Frivolity.
Lisa, what was your opinion?
It was I quite enjoyed the council meeting.
Yeah.
I think the housing needs assessment, that study was reviewed in detail throughout the meeting, and I think that was kind of the main discussion point focused around that housing needs assessment. I think it was there's a lot of complementary sections in that speak to the wonderful work that St. Thomas has done, and it lays a plan for the future. So I was, that's an interesting report to receive on your very first day of your new job.
What's this crap place I'm coming to? No.
How many pages you have to go through before you're in the meeting?
I'll autograph for you. No.
Well, you were also working on the housing needs in Southold before you got here as well.
Yeah,
so there's a lot of exciting stuff happening over there as well.
There is, yeah. They have a lot of growth coming to Fingal and Shedden. They recently received some funding from the province to support that growth.
Sure. Lisa and I have been talking about that already this week. There's only 3 days in the week gone so far.
Yes.
But our housing report really talks about St. Thomas. And we both immediately said, hey, what about the places around us and the great work they're doing? Because this is a huge amount of work that's needed in the next decade, that many more housing in St. Thomas. But when you bring into it what can happen or is happening currently in Southwold, the great subdivision new work that Elmer's doing, where Central Elgin is on what it wants to do with the psych hospital lands and some other lands. Look, the lifting's a little lighter for St. Thomas if our community and our roundabout people, our group.
Love the use of roundabout in there.
Yeah, it's good.
As many roundabouts as we can get in.
And all work together. Because if we're all doing it, and there's some great gold in them there hills if we can all do it. So it's really neat to hear other communities that are already doing it, or it feels a little more comforting knowing that's the case.
And if you want to learn more about the growth of St. Thomas in particular, you can check out this week's Beehive with Councillor Steve Peters, Professor Peters.
Yes.
And he's talking all about how St. Thomas expanded over the years. It's very cool.
And what years certain parts of St. Thomas, what is now currently St. Thomas, joined St. Thomas, and how recent some of this was. And
his parents were building a house in Yarmouth Township, what it used to be. And then by the time it was by the time it was finished, he was in City of St. Thomas because it had been annexed.
They had annexed that piece to the north of Waterworks Park, and perfect.
Bing, bang, boom.
It's what we do. Take a look at the map, folks. Whoa.
People are going to get up in arms.
Well, it's just a place to live.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, it is, though. And if we can all work together to make our community better, Elgin, St. Thomas, then that's what we're here for.
And I will share with you that we're hoping to have Earl on next Tuesday night, so that even before he gets to sit in the council chamber, he's got to sit at Mayor's up there.
He's got to pick a good jacket. That's
not
the one.
Plain black one.
No, it's good. For everyone their own jacket. I read the Seasons book for fashion. When I was in high school, I went to the library, which is just across the street here. And there was like this fashion book. It goes, what season are you? I was winter, by the way. You've never heard of this?
Well, I'm like salt and pepper and a little garlic.
Different
season.
They had a palette. They had a palette picked up. There's like autumn, like winter,
I don't know,
spring,
I
summer.
Autumn. Okay, so it's pajama day on Friday, but that's
is it at City Hall? Are you going to wear your onesie? Do you have a onesie?
Is at the cottage, so I have another great set of pajamas I've picked out with my robe, which is quite loud in itself. For those that probably don't need to know, but it's child cancer. Kids with cancer spend almost their whole day in their pajamas every day. And so once a year, we pick Pajama Day and make it a bit of a fundraiser for child cancer. Dave and Maureen Jenkins are good friends of ours, and they, of course, lost their daughter. And so they do a lot of work like this. So I don't know what size of crowd we'll have. The last time we did here, we had 10 or 12 people who wore pajamas to work on Friday. So the mayor's doing it Friday.
So the Valentine's Day is Pajama Day.
Yes.
Okay.
I will change into real clothes before I go to Uncorked.
No, I don't think you're allowed to do that.
Sorry. My Valentine's nightie. No, it's not going to work.
And for anyone who doesn't know, Uncorked is happening at the library. It's a chamber event. It's absolutely fantastic. It's with the former Great King.
So isn't it a queso?
Jamie Kai. Oh, maybe it's a queso. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Because I was going to go to the wrong place.
Don't go to the wrong place. It's at the queso station.
Okay.
Normally it was at the Art Center. Now it's at the queso.
Right. Yes. And it's on Valentine's Day.
On Valentine's Day.
I'll
Great
tell you
day.
what rescued me because I hadn't planned much. And so this now lets me, we're going out for wine and hors d'oeuvres and everything on Valentine's. So I'm the smartest mayor there is.
Planned it a year ago.
Yeah.
Really on top of it.
I've had these tickets for a whole year.
Yeah. Advanced.
Well, I don't know why it says 25.
Oh, and if you want to get advanced tickets for another chamber event, Impact Awards, they're already over halfway sold out. Mm-hmm. Now there's a fellow, Chris Pern. He's a Hollywood director, animator, writer, and storyboard artist, and he's coming to do the talk.
Okay.
So get your tickets if you don't want to miss out.
You've worked before in the past with as an animator or as a filmmaker?
We've chatted back and forth, and I've covered a bunch of his stuff that he did in Toronto. When I was in Toronto, running the Canadian Animation blog, I worked with Taffy, which is Toronto Animation Arts Festival International. Yes. He would come in and do workshops, Animatic TO. I filmed him doing that.
So it's worth seeing.
Oh,
get your tickets.
Highly recommend.
Get your tickets. It's always such a great, and there's some really unique people who are being recognized, and it's always, here's three and then we pick from one, right? Or here's two and we pick from one.
And if you've seen Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, you've seen his work.
Oh, excellent.
Okay. Yeah,
excellent.
And the Willoughbys, if you've seen that on Netflix, he produced that out of London. So he was the producer director. He had a whole animation studio in London for like 3 years. So he's going to talk about that, which is like, I bet most people don't even know that.
Mm-hmm. No, I didn't till now.
Yeah, that's so cool. Anyway, sorry.
You know the things you can learn on Mayor's Update?
Very informative.
Some of them are just perfect if you're a trivia buff.
Mm-hmm.
Look, because later on in life, that'll come back to me.
Totally come out.
I know the guy that did. No,
that's right. Chris Pern.
Okay.
From out in West Elgin.
Is he from West Elgin?
Well, he's from Southwold, West Elgin, that kind of Southwold.
Well, let's claim him for Southwold then.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're good friends.
I own a station. Where's I own a station? Is that Southwold?
Half is Southwold,
it's
half
on the
is
line.
See, this is done. Yeah, this is where I get confused. I was like, I'm pretty sure, but like, it's very like I can't tell you which side.
It depends what side of I own a road.
Well, he's in LA now, so let's just go.
See, I own stations on the rail line, and if you're on one side of the tracks, you're in Southwold, the other side.
Yeah. There we go. See, I'm glad I was justified in my confusion.
Excellent.
Yeah, it happens sometimes.
Well,
a lot actually.
We have Lisa on tonight.
Yes.
So we could actually get some questions in.
Yeah, let's have some more questions.
Anybody got any?
We haven't had it. This is not a big question. We've got a shout out for Earl from Janet Walker Robertson. Great guy. Excellent. Way to go, Earl.
Yes.
And she says he needs a new jacket. He better get one.
Oh no! It goes without saying for him.
Mm-hmm.
And
not enough jackets. I don't really have enough space in their house for all his jackets.
Watching tonight, or if you're
he's not watching.
If you're currently watching Mayor's Update, somebody call Earl and say you should be watching Mayor's Update. They are talking about it. And we tend to do that as we roll more people in, but it's pretty ugly and snowy out there. I know you just came in from
viciously snowy. Yeah. Just pelting down.
Yeah.
But I made it in for Mayor's Update because I care about this show.
That's it.
It will go on.
I had to go out to deepest, darkest Southwold also and pick up the puppies at Dogs on 3. And so but I had
deepest, darkest Southwold.
But then I had 2 sled dogs that could help me through. Right, so I was okay.
Have you seen the mayor's dogs? Then,
they're not. They're not.
Not necessarily.
Doing any sleds. No.
So Lisa,
yes.
You've come to us recently from Southwold. Your job there was fairly similar in nature to what it is.
I thought you were about to say simple.
No,
definitely not simple.
No. I was going to say, what do you see being different here between the two?
That's a very good question. So my role there was CAO clerk. Here at city manager, it really kind of comes down to the breadth of services that the city provides compared to a small municipality that's in a 2-tier system. And it's kind of one of the things that attracted me to this role is that I was interested in learning about this, scope of services that are not typical in the lower tier. So things like social services, libraries, police services, long-term care. Those aren't things that are within the realm of responsibility for a municipality like Southwold, but it's something, I hope to be in this field for a long time. And I think part of growing in this field is you need to learn more and you need to challenge yourself to learn more. So, and I'm so impressed with the staff you have. Yes.
But you're right. It does also give you a far wider breadth of staffing. Some 700 people work for the city of St. Thomas. Yes. You're now in charge of all of them, and so I'll come to you by next Tuesday. Can you have a list?
Of all of them? I'm doing fairly well, I think, to learn the names of the staff in this building so far. And
I've been totally impressed, not only here, but even as we've gone outside of this building, how many people know Lisa. I mean, there's staff here I've never met, but they know who she is.
Yeah.
Right? I've been 6 years.
Local celebrity.
I don't want to be
Yeah.
It was nice actually in that when I was kind of toured around the building, seeing familiar faces, seeing people who I've either worked with in a municipal capacity in other places, or just friends from high school who we always had this passion for community development, and we've found our way into a field that lets us practice what we like. So.
You went to high school with my wife, Jess.
I did, yes. We played soccer together. Yeah. Really great. She was a much better soccer player than I was.
She's a very her whole family.
Yes, all the Andrews.
Yeah, very talented soccer players.
They could take on any other family.
100%, yeah. Between like them, their cousins, like they could field a team and just like demolish the competition. Absolutely.
See, and that's the type of thing that I really love, right? And part of the reason for us choosing Lisa was she also knows what we're already like.
Yeah.
I don't mean that from she'll laugh at my jokes, but that's probably purposeful too. But that I won't say we're hokey, but we're St. Thomas, and we're growing at this pace, and we're doing some really unique things together. And to see other people you knew from your youth, or people I've known in my 35 years being here, also grow up with the community. Some of them students that work for me as they went to high school and are now back and earning greater credentials here. It's fun to see that type of growth.
Yeah. We've got Kate Andrews. That's my wife's sister. She's saying, "You'll do great, Lisa. Happy to see you in that position."
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Kate.
I do remember her from Monsignor Morrison days.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have to share with you. I'm only 35 years here, and this is the Elgin type of thing that I just love. And I used to say,
absolutely,
the Elgin directions, right? Because everybody knew each other, but you also knew each other from another place, right? So most people knew me from Wendy's, and then knew me from politics. But around here, everybody you run into, well, I used to babysit your brother, or remember when we worked together at the Zare store, or right?
Yes,
right? It was right. Zare store hasn't been there for a year. No,
it happened my first day here. As I was touring around, I instantly recognized someone I used to babysit, and it was. Yeah. They really haven't changed in looks. It's been 30 years. But right away I went, oh my gosh, I remember you. So,
Perfect. But I don't know. If I think this way. When I know someone for another reason, or I've played ball with somebody or hockey with somebody, it's a lot easier to go up to them and say, hey, how are we doing on that project of?
Yeah. Right? You've got an innate understanding of who they are, and they do of you as well. And it works really well to build community. And that's one of the reasons I came back. Is like I just love the people here in general. It's just like it's a can-do attitude.
I don't know. I keep saying we're 50,000 or thereabouts from a population point of view, which makes us a bigger community. But it's a small town feel. It is. You still feel like everybody knows each other. Yeah. It's not hard to say hi to your next door neighbor in St. Thomas, and I always found that hard other places.
Yeah.
Where I lived in Mississauga. That's the first question you're asked every day in Mississauga. Hi, where are you from?
How to get to Toronto?
No. Where are you from? Does the earth really drop off at the other edge of Mississauga? No. But everybody asked, where are you from? Nobody was from there. It was kind of created for people.
Right. We got Scott. He's saying a great addition to the city team, making an already strong team even stronger. Congrats, Lisa.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I've always been impressed by the team that's been assembled here, and I'm just again so honored to be working with them. I've been a fan for a long time. I've been watching,
Well, it's fun. I won't quit doing it because I'm having too much fun doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
And Grayden, you and I work on so many community projects together. Right? And occasionally, sometimes it's a cold, rainy day, and we don't want to be where we are. But the good days make up for.
Well, with the good people, it doesn't matter. And then you get the pictures of it, like when we're putting up banners out on Talbot in the sleet and the rain in April. But it turns into an event.
It's okay to say, "Hey, let's do this tomorrow." Just,
Except when you have moonlight painters and you've already paid them the thousands of dollars to and you've got your certificates, and then you're like, you jump in the truck, you pull it out, you switch around. Yeah. Oh man. Oh, and then we've got another
Monsignor Morrison
Samantha
graduate.
Wakefield.
Yes.
So excited to welcome you, Lisa. Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you. Yes, I'm so pleased to be joining you with the municipal team. I'm enjoying the work that she's doing for our police
communications
services.
Expert.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I steal all her good ideas, so it works out well.
Well, yeah, I'm excited for the collaboration now too, because intimately how Southold works. So by you being here now, potentially there's a great amount of more work that can be done in terms of the collaboration between Southold and St. Thomas.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think I do bring a kind of unique perspective in that, I came from Southold. I understand how Elgin County and Southold works together. I felt I had a lot of success there building partnerships with Dutton Dunwich and West Elgin and Central Elgin and even the city with waste management. So I think, one of my kind of personal goals is to continue strengthening those relationships and building on those partnerships. Because this team
shared service piece is just open to us because it makes less work for all of us if we can do it, but we just have to get to where we want to.
Yeah, and do it right and know exactly how all the different things work, so you don't get into a situation where you've got contentious issues that pop up, which has happened in the past. Sure. So now hopefully you can avoid any of that going forward. But it's also exciting because all the economic development activity that's going on between Southold, Dutton Dunwich, and West Elgin is really exciting, and that happened while you were there as well.
Yes, Southold was one of the first to kind of establish a local economic development committee to work with the county. Southold saw the kind of devastating impact when the Ford plant left and had to be innovative and creative to maintain that, that tax base and to bring in new industry. So, I was there when Amazon kind of came and told us they announced they were going to come to us on April 1st. We thought it was a joke at first. Some sort of,
nice
some sort of,
but
it was, it was obviously very real, and that's been a wonderful boon to that municipality.
Now, are you able to, with those Amazon plants that are closing in Quebec, is that going to have an effect on our Amazon plant here? Do you know?
As far as I know, there hasn't been any indication of that. So, yeah.
But Amazon continues to grow as an organization across the rest of the world, regardless of the kind of Quebec issue. And so all of that means more traffic will go through Southold, right? And so we from a St. Thomas outlook, let's do it, right? We're pleased, and Grayden, I think you said it. Sometimes when we try to do things together, it can be contentious. But what I'd like to do is get to where we're so used to doing things together that when it is contentious, it solves itself very quickly because we've become good friends on top of being local neighboring municipalities. I'll never be able to tell you whose house that used to be, but I'll ask Steve.
He'll know the name of the dog that once lived there.
And the birthday of the dog.
Right.
Right. And maybe where they buried it back on the right. No, Steve is incredible on the history side. And it is just, we have to remember our past to make sure that we move forward. But that's what Elgin's been for a long time. So.
Absolutely. So what else happened at council?
Well, we talked to the housing needs took up a great deal. Community improvement program for 15 Flora. That was the last of the community improvement program on the Prespa building that we, the unique one where we've now taken it. We've removed holding symbols on 1, 2, 3, 4 different subdivisions. That means, and I keep saying that because it may mean less than what I'm making it out to be, but I think we're moving back into this housing building piece that we kind of lost for a couple of years because of high interest rates. Because as we start to remove holding symbols on subdivisions, and that's a technical term that we'll share, then it means that those builders are now ready with full plans to move forward on their subdivisions. The base work is done, servicing is in, and we're ready to go. And there was a lot of that on Monday night. So I sat there going, well, that's pretty neat. That's neat. Who said about that? And then a couple of other apartment buildings and stuff that are happening. And then some changes to the provincial transfer payments for children's services and funding agreements, which are always good for us when the province says, let us help you with things like childcare. So it's happening. Athletic field is getting lighting. Athletic park, the main soccer field. Yeah. So we approved the tender, 280-some thousand, I think, for lights on the main field at Athletic Park. And council had some good conversations about, well, there's more than one field there. Would we want to light more than one? They said, no, what's been asked for is this, but it would make it in the future where we could. But I thought with the building of one password, we'd almost, I won't say weren't using Athletic Field, because I know we were, even on tournaments and stuff. So that came through. Just World Thinking Day. That's a Girl Guide proposal for February 21st. There's a flag raising and World Thinking Day. Beta Sigma Phi Week was asked for. The Kinsmen have asked us for bylaw exemption on fireworks sales. It's February, so we're starting to think about the May 24th weekend and stuff. Employment Services Elgin is having a job fair in April 23rd, and wanted us to offer free transit for people attending the job fair in St. Thomas. You and I have talked a lot about jobs on this show.
We sure have.
So get your resume out to the job fair. Lots of other stuff going on. Grayden, it was one of those really neat weeks, but it was fun. It was, Lisa had started that morning, and her and I spent a whole lot of time. And then she said, hey, okay, come to council. Watch this.
I think there was some discussion too on pickleball courts and ensuring that people are sharing them and giving everybody an opportunity to use the courts.
Has there been some contentious issues around pickleball court usage?
I may have called them a different word than they're kind of cultish or but we have pickleball clubs that now book court time and regular people who want court time, and apparently it's a bit. We're trying to find a better way to share our courts. We did talk about building more, because we know that's one of the best things we could do. Let's build 18 more pickleball courts and make everybody
incredible happy.
To me. So lots of it going on. And while we're talking about that, let's make sure you also still have your say. This is the please go to the website, the stthomas.ca, and talk about the Parks and Rec Master Plan update. We need your input as we grow, and Lisa will need your help in telling us what we want to do next from in our Parks and Recreation and Active Living part.
Just filled it out for our family, because you do one person per household.
Yes.
It won't, And we kind of want it that way. We don't want it like 100 people trying to tell us, I like pickleball courts.
It's an 8-person family.
Right. And then the Community and Aquatic Center feasibility study is also part of this plan. And we need your input. It ends on February 28th, this paper input. And the numbers that were shared with us at council on Monday night are incredible. Over 2,000 people have already filled out the survey. So perfect. And we want everybody from miles around to fill out this survey. I mean, it does ask you in it, where are you from? Right? But we need to be able to do that. Right. Volunteer Elgin. I want to talk just a little bit about Volunteer Elgin. Volunteer Elgin was a great organization we used to have in our community across Elgin. Back in my days with United Way here and Chamber of Commerce and such, we had a great group called Volunteer Elgin. Most of the not-for-profits were part of it. And it kind of went away sometime late, I want to say 2017, 2016, in there. And we would like to bring it back. And as you and I talk a lot, Grayden, we talk about the volunteers needed on almost every project we're involved in, whether it's a downtown Oktoberfest or Nostalgia Nights or Big Brothers, Big Sisters, I think is really helping bring this back. And they need volunteers in a different way. But if we can get Volunteer Elgin, and we want you to come out, I think it's May 3rd will be the initial meeting of this. We'll talk more about it on Mayor's Update as we move closer. Because come on out and be a volunteer. You can find something that you like to do that's a volunteer position in our community. And it's not the same as the next guy. We have people who just love coming out and spending that one night a week on Nostalgia Nights in downtown St. Thomas. They love old cars, and so they want to be part of that.
And if you're watching this, we want to hear from you, because we need people to help park the cars.
Oh, yeah, we'll still need you for Nostalgia Nights in July this year, because we're looking to build our volunteer base, and that's where this came from today. We talked about the establishment. So we'll give you some more details on when and where and how to become a part-time or full-time volunteer in the city of St. Thomas.
Yeah,
because we need your help, young or old. I tell the funny story how all my parents volunteered, right? And I didn't think it was strange at all, but I found out later on in life that not everybody's did. So it wasn't strange that, Dad was out doing something, right? And so volunteering didn't fall far from that tree in our household. And I now just was joyous when my children became volunteers at things. Right? But it's not normal in today's society. It doesn't happen as often or work as well. So we need your help. City Hall still wasting more money. Oh, well, thank you very much. Athletic Park does not need lights. Okay. I guess Dale Cummings will not be playing soccer on the new athletic park field, but I'd like the kids who are playing there to be safe and to be able to find time to play sports. We can keep our kids active in our community, and some of them maybe need to do it after dark. And so good communities do things like make our sports fields more enjoyable and safe and provide more of them for people. And that's why we want your say on what we can do as a community to make our community better. I don't mean to pick you out, Dale. You asked the question. But,
I think you feel pretty strongly about that, Mayor.
Well, I do. I mean, look, I recognize there's always two opinions, yes or no. Mine happens to be yes almost every time, right? So if we can do some things and we have the ability to do it, then we already have a soccer field there that's being used every night of the week. And we can put lights up on it, and now it'll be used every night of the week for 2 more hours.
Yeah, and hopefully it'll relieve some pressure on the pickleball courts.
Right. Well, whatever else it might be, right?
So I think his suggestion that the soccer club raise the funds for it, it's important to note that it is a project that's done in collaboration with the St. Thomas Soccer Club. So
absolutely.
They are doing their part. So.
And it gives us the ability. I know that there was now been 2 or 3 very large soccer tournaments that have come to St. Thomas, thinking, well, you have One Password Park. We can hold these huge soccer tournaments. But we need another site. Also, they tell me, I have not been out playing soccer in the last few years, just but it lets us also be able to use all at once. It's like the Doug Terry Ball Complex holding great big tournaments, but we also still have to use the Gorman Rupp ball diamond and other ball diamonds to make it all work. So it's a great mix in our community, but we need you to share with us what does work, right? And I'm not against what your point is about let the soccer club raise the funds, and it will be that way whether it's an aquatic center or whatever else we move forward on too. We're going to ask always for participation from the user groups, and I think there was a bit on user fees even in this agenda. On the Parks and Rec people coming forward with user fees for our summer uses of ball diamonds. When we had first reviewed our user fees, some of the slow pitch teams had said, wait a second, that's going to cost us this much more. And we sat down with them and said, yes, but look at what you're able to get, what we're able to do with the money you're bringing in by paying for ball diamonds. And we've agreed to move on into next year. So it does work that we want the user groups to do that for sure.
We've got another congratulations, Lisa, from Crystal.
Thank you.
Over at Reith and Associates.
Oh, I know Crystal.
Yes.
I was visiting there last Friday with my kids. So
Andrew Boddick thinks I'm a pro soccer player, so I'm going to go along with him. I know he is. I know his family is a great group of soccer players.
Yes, absolutely.
But perhaps I'm a good fan of watching good soccer.
Yeah,
maybe a better way.
Exactly. Right. And shout out to Vicky Axford, who's watching all the way from St. John's.
We got Vicky. How's the snow? We always make fun of snow in St. John's, and every time I make fun of her, she got nothing, and we got 3 feet falling in with that. So.
Well, we're talking back and forth. I got to send her the stats for established media, the mayor's update, and all that stuff. But we want to get the mayor of St. John's on at some point.
Do mayor's update with St. John.
Yeah, it's an exciting thing.
Bye. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I just got over my plague that happened to me down for like 3 weeks, so now I can get on top of that and start moving that ahead because I think that'd be pretty fun. We've had the mayor of London just down.
Right, and we have the mayor from Woodstock here tomorrow, talking housing and different things. And so it is something we do share with each other. We all have other things. They're not mostly mayors full time, right? But we do share with the CAO from Woodstock is coming tomorrow, and the mayor's coming tomorrow. We're going to talk a lot about, I hope, our new housing report, the things we've done to accomplish homelessness removal in our community, and how we go next, and how we're ready for the influx of new employees needed for PowerCo, and how we're housing people in the future. But a part of the thing that attracts great industries to our community is things like, hey, how's your soccer fields? How's your pickleball courts? How's your hospital? How's your, right? And the city has to be multitasking on all of these things.
Yeah. Dale's saying that I should become the chair of the Downtown Development Board with Earl on City Council. I actually, that happened.
That is. Grayden is the chair of the Downtown Development Board. Earl will still sit on there as the past chair and as a member of council. Now he'll be one of the council appointees to the DDB.
Yeah.
So, boy, we get once we get our rope around you, we never let go.
Yes, exactly. You're just like, you're hauled in. So that happened back in April, because Earl was like, I've done this for a decade. Yeah. I need some time to relax. And so with anybody like Earl, right, who works so much and volunteers so much, it's like you don't have that time for long. There's always something that fills that void.
I'll tell you, he's got another job that's filling some of his time as of today.
Wow. Above and beyond. Like, I think that's going to be even more taxing.
Well, we were just chatting about what committees and what will work best, and we'll make sure Earl stays kind of busy. Those long motorcycle trips will now have to happen with thinking of Monday night council in mind.
Right. Again, plan it around council.
You've got to leave after council on Monday night and come back before the next one.
Love it. Well, I think we're a bit over time here, but Lisa, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Letting people know the CAO, city manager of our community, is well in hand and working her way through all of the problems we already have. If you're worried about your street being plowed properly, your sidewalks, Lisa's home number is.
I'm happy to be reached during office hours.
Or customer service, and they can get a hold of you.
We always share. Go through customer service, and it will be fixed way quicker than if you let Lisa or Joe know about it. It's because we're going to pick up the phone and call customer service.
Yeah,
absolutely. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next week on the Mayor's Update.